My name is Titus. I am 17 years old and I live in Pompeii. I have a small family which consists of my mother, sister, and I. We also have one slave named Clyde. We are a middle-class family. My father passed away when my sister and I were young and left us with all of his money. Enough personal information. The reason I am writing this is to tell my story of the most terrifying day of my life. The morning of the eruption wasn't like any other morning. It was an early Saturday morning. The date was August 24th, AD 79. My sister and I woke up early and headed off to school like any other day. Tremors had been going on for a few days now, but nothing was coming of them, so we had to continue our daily routines. My mom stayed home and helped Clyde prepare because we planned to have a dinner party that night. The whole town kept going on a normal schedule, trying to ignore the tremors. Not too many people thought too much of it because my mother said while she was pregnant with me, the same thing happened. She then went on to tell me that the tremors went on for several days and then stopped. Nothing ever came of the incident, so what would be different about this one? However, others said that this was not like the previous one many years ago. But what happened that day was exactly what we all feared the most. Tremors began to get stronger and stronger. My sister and I became very worried, so at lunch we headed towards our house. We rushed to the house, but the tremors got so bad that it was hard to run anymore. All of a sudden, a loud bang noise went off behind us. We turned back to see that Mount Vesuvius was erupting. Ash came down in clouds, making it nearly impossible for us to see. I put out my hand to my sister. She latched on and we continued hurrying home to get to our mother and Clyde. Once home, we found my mother hiding under a table, but Clyde was gone. We realized our only chance of survival was to rush to the port and climb aboard any ship that was still there. I told my sister and mother to go to the port and hold back a boat for me and Clyde because I was going to look for him. My mother was not okay with it and wouldn't let me go alone. We decided to stick together and go find Clyde. Did not have to go too far. He was down the street in a completely collapsed house, doing all he could to save three kids whose parents had been killed by the walls of their own house when they fell in from the earthquake. We as we could to him and helped pull out the children. The three kids were extremely thankful and told us that their parents owned a private boat that was on the far side of the port. In front of us, and I thought we would lose them because the ash made it so hard to see. The sound of their voices at times was the only thing that I was able to follow. We finally made it to the port and hopped aboard their boat. Finally, we got the chance to look back at the damage the eruption was. Through the thick black sky, you could faintly see the city engulfed in flames, building crumbling to the ground. As we pulled away, we watched as people ran frantically in attempts to find safety from the erupting volcano at the top of the mountain. We traveled until the sun was beginning to set and the ash was completely gone. We attempted to get to some rest, but none of us could sleep with the terrible visions haunting us and our memories. The next morning, several other boats came to the dock where we were staying. The people aboard the boats told us the sad news that Pompeii was completely destroyed, and so was Herculaneum, a city nearby. They also shared with us that anywhere from 10,000 to 25,000 people were dead in total because of the eruption. We were extremely sad, but blessed that we had gotten out safely and unharmed, but many others were not.